in a week or two. I'm not sure. But it felt like it's been a while. And I really actually enjoy going live on YouTube. I feel like I always meet new people. I get to connect with you guys. And I get to share in a live call on a topic that I think is going to be really interesting to you, hopefully. My voice is shaky a little bit. I will be talking about your next level in business. And your next level in business will be achieved when you calibrate your nervous system to that next level. Your next level in business, you will not achieve by doing more. You will achieve your next level in business by calibrating your nervous system to that next level. Now, what does this mean? And before I go into speaking about my story and things like that, I also want to say that what I will be teaching about today, I'm just looking at my notes because I want to make sure I get everything right for you guys. I will take out a part of my regulated CEO challenge that is happening this week. So if you haven't signed up yet, make sure you do. It's going to be life-changing. But I'm going to be presenting to you one small piece that I will be talking about in the regulated CEO challenge as well. Okay, and it's going to be really powerful because I'm going to be going into the science of your nervous system. And why this is important is because I received a comment yesterday or a couple of days before on one of my videos where I talked about how I made 25,000 in a month and I wasn't able to sustain it. I wasn't able to hold it and I lost it all. Or I spend it all, or I wasn't able to hold that money because my nervous system was overwhelmed, it was too much, and I didn't know how to hold it. Okay. And there was a comment of this person who said, it wasn't my nervous system. I shouldn't blame it on my nervous system. It was my not being able to how do you say that? To regulate my finances. I wasn't able to take care of my finances correctly. That's what she said, right? I wasn't able to take care of my finances correctly. And when I saw this comment, I was like, no, that is not the reason why I made a lot of money and I wasn't able to sustain it, right? A lot of the times when it comes to making a lot of money in your business, it's not about only having a good relationship with money or knowing how to lead with your finances. For sure, that is very, very important. You need to learn how to take care of your finances, how to spend your money wisely, how to save money. And the funny thing is, I knew all of these things. I was really good at saving money. I was actually way too good at saving money. I was always the type of person who would never spend any money. I would always hoard it, right? I would always hoard my money. So this is something that I was very good at, not spending money, being very clever with my finances, and making sure that I never spend too much and making sure I make very wise decisions. But still, in that month when I made it 25,000, I still wasn't able to hold it. Okay. Guys, give me 1 second because going live on here is an interesting experience. We have some interesting people here. And I'm just gonna make sure that I'm gonna be deleting everyone here who is not nice, okay? So I'm saying that very, very clear. Okay, so today is going to be about your next level in business and calibrating yourself to your next level in business by regulating your nervous system. There's so much stuff that I see on here, not on here, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. And the content that I see is very activating. The content that I see is very motivating. The content that I see is very like, do this one thing and you're going to explode in your business. Show up consistently, you're going to explode in your business. Manifest $100,000 overnight and you're going to explode in your business. There's a lot of this type of content out there. And this is what's called motivating, activating content. And this type of content makes you feel, again, if you are a horrible person, don't be here, okay? This type of content makes you feel super like activated in that moment, right? It motivates you, it makes you feel like, yes, I can manifest $100,000 in 3 months, right? I can create all of this stuff, right? But what happens is that a lot of the times, what we don't realize is when you have a dysregulated nervous system, or you have had a lot of trauma in your life. Thank you, Jeremy. I'm trying to ignore these comments, but people are freaking weird. Okay. So I'm really trying to not let this stuff get to me, but I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what people are on, I don't know what people are on YouTube. Okay. People are just, really, really weird. And I'm gonna actually block everyone right now because this is really making me hiding all these people. Okay, hiding all these freaking weird people on here. So, thank you. Thank you for being here, okay? I'm so distracted. I'm so distracted by what I actually wanted to say. You guys have really distracted me, I have to say. Really weird comments. But anyways, so I'm actually gonna really ignore right now what the chat is saying, and I'm gonna just stay in my lane, okay? Okay, so we're talking about business here. Yes. We're talking about regulating your nervous system to make a lot of money, to have success in your business. I'm going to give you my story, not look at what you guys are saying, okay? Even the nice ones, because it's distracting me. When I started my business, I became very, very successful very quickly, okay? And I made a lot of money very quickly. And then what happened is I started to realize in my business that a lot of the success that I was having was actually a trauma response in my business. Okay. I was people pleasing a lot. I was, over delivering. I was undercharging. And I was burning myself out truly in my business. And I asked myself, how am I able to achieve a new level of success? Because I was looking at what everyone else was doing, right? I was looking at all the success that people were creating around me. And this is what happens, right? When you're an entrepreneur, you see all these other entrepreneurs who have a lot of success in their business. And I was wondering, I'm doing everything right, but I found myself stuck, right? I didn't know how to get myself to a new level of success in my business because what I saw was I worked really hard. I showed up all the time. I was very successful, but I was also not happy anymore because I was like, I'm working all the time. I'm burning out. I want to reach a new level. And I didn't know how to reach that new level. And then when I realized a lot of my business was actually coming from a trauma response, a lot of the things I was doing, like people pleasing, undercharging, over delivering, was actually all a trauma response. I was like, okay, let me look at that deeper, because I would be this type of person. I would look at other people and I would, talk about this all like motivating content. And I was like, this is great. Like everyone is telling me, okay, just shift your identity, just manifest, visualize your dream life. And I was like, I was doing all these things, right? I was showing up, I was doing strategy, I was doing all the things that people were saying to me. And I still couldn't quite get to that next level in business. I still couldn't get to that next level in my success. And I had to realize that there was so much more to that success than just working harder. There was so much more to that success than just shifting my identity, right? There was so much more to having the success that I wanted than just doing the things that everyone else is telling you to do. Okay? And so a lot of the times what happened when I was in that state is I believed there was something wrong with me and with my strategy. So I would hire another strategy coach. I would hire another person who was going to teach me on strategy. I would change my strategy all the time because I believed what I was doing wasn't right. And what would happen is I would still be working overtime and still have the same amount of success, still make the same amount of money. And I was like, there is something that I'm not seeing here. Okay. And I see this so many times with people. And there is a lot of people who make it make you believe that strategy is the number one thing in success, which yes, you have to be willing to have you have to be able to have a good strategy in your business. But if your body doesn't feel safe to be seen, like right now, I know if you're watching this recording, and I know my followers will, I'm getting so many weird comments right now, okay? And I'm just ignoring all that shit right now. Like, like, if I would have gone live and my nervous system wouldn't be regulated and I would see all these comments like flooding in, I would be like, oh my God. In the beginning I did, right? You saw me go like, oh my God, what is happening? Right now I'm just ignoring it because my nervous system is in a place where I'm like, I couldn't give a fuck right now if I can't say it like that. I don't know, right? I couldn't care less about what is happening right now because I know what I'm talking about and I feel safe within myself. I feel safe to be seen, right? But a lot of the times when we are creating businesses and we put ourselves out there and we are seen by a lot of people, and by people that are not nice, and by people that always have something bad to say, and by people who like to bring other people down, right? It feels horrible to put yourself out there and get a lot of hate. And especially by people who don't even show their own faces, right? By people who hide behind the comment section, right? It's a lot easier to do it like that. And you still feel attacked by these people, especially when you don't feel safe within yourself. And this is something that I really struggled with in the beginning. And that's why every time I would reach a new level in my business, I wasn't able to hold that success. Because every time you reach a new level, there's a new level of visibility. There's a new level of people watching you. There's a new level of people, hating on you. There's a new level of people saying shit about you. There's gonna be a new level of people not believing you or hating something about you, your features, what you say, what you do. I literally had people say all these types of things about me, right? And it's because when you don't feel safe within yourself and you can't hold all of this stuff, right? I'm not even looking at the chat. I just saw Sasha saying, don't listen to haters in the chat. At the end of the day, all the people that are haters on here, it's because they're hiding. They're hiding behind pain. They feel better about themselves, right? When they say shit about other people, right? They feel literally, that's why I always say hurt people hurt people. People who are broken like to break other people or like to try to break other people. And so as I'm sitting here with you, and I actually want to look at the chat right now, there are some really good-hearted people here, right? Some really nice people here. But also, if you are an entrepreneur yourself and you're putting yourself out there, if that's on Instagram, if that's on YouTube, if that's on TikTok, I want you to know that you're so much better than this, right? And it's interesting because the hate just stopped when I called you guys out. And you guys are so cute. Thank you. Right? It's really this recognizing that in a world like the way that the world that we live in today, where there's so many good-hearted people who truly want to create a change, right? There's so many good-hearted people who have a business because they want to create change. There's also a lot of people who feel very lost, who are very hurt, who have had a lot of trauma in their life. And these type of people, when they don't heal, they will bring other people down, or they will try to bring other people down. Okay? And so I'm saying this because I didn't even know I was going to go there, but it's interesting, how much stuff is coming up here and how many people, are being mean and are being, whatever, like it doesn't really matter. But it's so interesting to be able to witness this. And this message is going out to all the entrepreneurs, to all the creators, to all the people who have big visions in their life and want to create something bigger in their life. It's okay when not everyone sees you for who you are. It's okay if not everyone sees you for the amazing person that you are, because the right people will see you. The right people will follow. The right people will stay by your side. And I want to bring to you a quick breakdown of your brain. And this is, what does it mean, of your brain? Okay. Your brain has 3 parts, and this is going to be something that I'm going to be sharing at the Regulated CEO Challenge. If you want to join the challenge, I'm going to be sharing it after the live. Hold on, there's someone bothering me in here. Okay. I'm gonna be sharing this part even deeper in my the Regulated CEO Challenge. If you want to join the challenge, let me know. You will be able to sign up. There's links in my YouTube channel as well. So I would love to see you there. Okay. But in any way, I'm gonna talk about the breakdown of the 3 parts of the brain and why this matters. Okay. I'm just looking at my notes because I want to make sure I'm saying everything right. Within the brain, we have the neocortex, we have the limbic system, and we have the survival brain, the brainstem. Why this matters is because in this moment, when we are putting ourselves out there, when we're sharing our truth, when we are seen by a lot of people, what's going to happen is that your brain communicates with you all the time. Okay? Your brain communicates with you all the time, and your brain was always going to try to keep you safe. And so in my case, as I'm here and I'm speaking, there's a lot of people watching me right now. There's a lot of people commenting. There's a lot of people that are saying nice things, but also mean things, okay? Your brain is always going to think about survival. This is how we are made. Your brain is always going to want to make you survive, okay? To make it very, very easy. And so your survival brain, it's where your instinct lies. This is the oldest part of your brain. It doesn't care about your goals. It doesn't care about anything else. It cares about surviving. So if success, if visibility, if money, any of that ever felt unsafe in the past, it will shut you down to protect you. There was a moment in my mind, I was like, I'm just going to leave this life. I'm going to go because of all the comments I was getting. And then I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that, because in that moment, my survival brain came in, and my survival brain was like, this is unsafe right now. But I get to decide if I want this to be unsafe. Okay? So there is the other part of the brain, which is the neocortex. This is the logic and the language. The logic and the language is a lot of the business is targeting this type of brain part, okay? So this is where you write your content plan. This is where you show up in your business. This is where you do strategy. This is where you do the logical things, okay? The logical things would be me clicking on a live and doing the logical thing, and then seeing all these hate comments come in my brain, my survival brain going like, this is not safe, we should leave. Okay, so these two worked in that moment. My neocortex came in and it was like, you should go live. And then my survival brain came in and was like, no, this is not safe. And then we also have the limbic system. This is where you have your emotions and your relationships. And this is where you feel the fear of being judged, the highs of a sale, the grief after a failed launch, whatever that might be. And those 3 parts always work together. But most importantly, what I want you to get out of this is when you are upgrading in your business, when you are getting to a new level in business, even consistency oftentimes is a thing that a lot of people struggle with because of a dysregulated nervous system, right? And when you have a dysregulated nervous system, what's going to happen is that you will have a hard time staying consistent. You will have a hard time upgrading your identity into a wealthy person that you want to be, because what's going to happen is that your survival brain will always want you to stay safe. And if any of these things have, you never felt safe before, let's say you grew up in childhood and you really wanted to be a singer. I'm just making this up, okay? Let's say you really wanted to be a singer. This used to be like my dream, like many years ago, okay? But let's say you've had this experience where you really wanted to be a singer and you performed in front of, let's say, lots of people. and you performed in front of a lot of people, and then what happened is people were very mean to you. You thought you did a great performance, and people were actually really mean to you. And you were like, but I thought I was a great singer, but I thought I was really good at that. But then as a child, maybe you were 12 years old, again, completely made up story, but this could be something that will allow you to see how this still shows up today, okay? So you were 12 years old, you really wanted to be a singer, you performed in front of lots and lots of people, and the feedback that you receive from the people is negative. Your nervous system remembers that. Your nervous system in that moment created a connection between, if I follow my passion, if I show up in front of people, if I'm vulnerable, people will not agree with me. People will not like what I'm about to do. People don't like what I'm doing. And so what will happen is your nervous system will always protect you. And so today, when you are becoming an entrepreneur, when you want to show up in business and create a business that you like, you have to be willing to be visible by a lot of people. Like even here on YouTube, right? I'm putting myself out there, lots of people watching me, lots of people that have nothing, valuable to say. And I have to be willing to be here and still feel safe within myself to be okay with everything else that is happening. Right? If you're watching this recording, you will not see what's happening in the comment section. I don't know. Will you? Maybe you will. And anyway, you might. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that your nervous system will remember what has happened in your childhood, and it will then create that pattern again in your business, in your success. Okay? And so what's going to happen is, unless you don't heal this, whenever you might put yourself out there, if that's, on YouTube, TikTok, whichever channel, what's going to happen is your nervous system will protect you. And you might not even show up, or you show up and you delete it, or you show up and you immediately leave, or you put up a video and you delete it again. It can show up in many different ways, but that's just one example of that, right? That's just one example of what can happen from your experiences in your childhood and how it can show up today. This was a simple example, but sometimes those things that we have experienced leave deep wounds in our businesses, or leave deep wounds in our lives and in our businesses. I was a chronic people pleaser, right? I was taught to be the good girl. There's this thing called the good girl syndrome, and I was taught to be the good girl in my life. And I was always praised by my parents when I was, listening, when I had good grades, when I was always doing everything that everyone told me to do. And so when I created my own business, I would repeat those patterns, right? I would repeat the same patterns, and I would treat my clients in a way where I made sure I people pleased them. I didn't even realize I was doing that because I didn't want to feel rejected by them. I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything right. So I would over deliver, I would people please, I would undercharge. These were all my wounds that would show up in my business. And because I had these wounds that would show up in my business, what would happen is I wasn't able to get to that next level unless I didn't heal those wounds. And this is truly what I'm talking about here. If you want to elevate your business to the next level, it's about recognizing that you have to regulate yourself, regulate your nervous system, learn about these processes that are happening in your body, learn about yourself as well, right? Most importantly, and do a lot of that healing work, healing your inner child as well, right? Really going back in time and being willing to look at your past, being willing to look at everything that has happened. Not always everything, but a lot of the things, to be willing to see those patterns as well. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. Sasha, nice that you're here. I see your little face on there. But yeah, that is all that I want to share. I think, let me just look at my notes. There's a lot more, but I think that's it. Now, for those of you who are seriously interested, Max, good question. For those of you who are seriously interested, I will be doing a challenge this week. It's called the Regulated CEO Challenge. This is for my business owners, entrepreneurs mainly. And this is a free challenge. If you are interested, I highly recommend joining. This is going to be really, really powerful. You will find the link. I'm going to be posting this recording on my YouTube channel as well. But when you go to my YouTube channel, you should see the sign up link in one of my recent videos too. If you can't find it, just message me on here or on Instagram or on my email. There's many ways to contact me. But I would love to see you there, because we will be able to go deeper and do exercises together as well. And that's truly what I want you to get out of this. I want you to be able to do exercises as well, not just learn. That's oftentimes where we are stuck. We know a lot of information, but we're not able to shift that, right? I am a business coach for entrepreneurs. So I help people regulate themselves, I help them heal themselves, and I help them get to the next level in business. But not by doing more, but by looking inside, right? By looking and healing all these layers that are stopping you from getting to that next level. Okay, so I'm excited to see you there if you're interested. Jeremy, thank you for being here, and everyone else that was very nice to me here in the chat. I'm sending you lots of love. Mwah. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.